midterm elections. However, voter turnout so far isn't what officials were expecting. Politics Today's Maya Clark has the latest from your local election headquarters.
High voter registration numbers, low voter turnout, a trend that Potter and Randall counties are experiencing moving into the second week of early voting.
It's about a day and a half busier in 2018 than it is to the same amount at this time. We're down at this point about 1,700 votes.
So I expected a much larger turnout. We are actually down about 18% compared to 2018's totals.
Around the state, the midterm elections are expecting a lot of excitement with a gubernatorial race on the ballot. But locally, quite a few races are uncontested, potentially impacting voter turnout.
Midterm elections are very important for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons I do believe that our voter turnout is down is we don't have any contested local races, but there are so many statewide races that are on this ballot that really do they demand people's attention.
Really isn't a really dramatic reason to vote. I mean, it's always important to vote, but in some elections, like in 2020, for example, you know, you wanted to vote for president. Probably the other reason is some of the campaign ads are too effective. The goal of a negative campaign ad is not to, you know, encourage your supporters, is to discourage the other candidate supporters. And if you can put enough questions in their minds, they're not going to vote at all.
Getting people to register to vote is only half the battle, and unless they actually vote, their voice isn't being heard.
We need everyone that was so involved and excited about getting registered to vote to actually turn out and cast that ballot. This day of early voting is historically our busiest day. If it doesn't pick up, then I would expect that we would have a huge turnout on election day.
So the last day of early voting is when we record this program, and we're recording before early voting has closed. So on our website, myhighplains.com, we have an in-depth look at the early voting turnout, races on the ballot, and a list of your polling locations ahead of Tuesday's election. The two leading candidates for governor making stops in Amarillo, both holding Get Out the Vote rallies where hundreds of people turned out. Governor Abbott stopping at Youngblood's Cafe. He gave a few remarks. He encouraged Texans to get out and vote, discussing some of the biggest issues on voters' minds.
There's so many issues that so many Texans are concerned about. Near the top of the list are jobs and the economy, and I got great news for you. Under Texas, we have the fastest growing economy of any state in the United States of America.
The governor's campaign also made stops in other major cities across the state. We did reach out to the governor's campaign for an in-person interview multiple times. I have not yet heard back. Abbott's Democratic challenger for Texas governor traveled to Amarillo for a campaign stop at the end of October, hoping to pick up some votes in this deeply red district. This was part of O'Rourke's statewide drive to get out the vote. O'Rourke recently wrapped up a 20-campus college tour to help register young voters. Here's what he had to say when I caught up with him there at the rally.
On behalf of all Texans, I will say very clearly, if you want to come to this country, you must follow our law. I will work with all Texans to make sure our laws follow our values, our interests, and our economic needs. So that means working on real solutions, not stunts like busing migrants to Chicago, but solutions that people here in Amarillo, Lubbock, and other communities have come up with, like a Texas-based guest worker program, so that we can meet the needs on our farms, on our ranches, at the cotton gins, in our industrial facilities, even in our restaurants. There needs to be a safe, legal, orderly path for someone to be able to come to this country. We do that, we'll be so much more successful against those who would seek to do us harm, trafficking fentanyl or smuggling human beings. We need to lead on solutions, and as governor, I'll bring everyone together to make sure that we get that done.
How do you plan to build consensus with those who are campaigning right now on issues that are contrary to what you believe? If you're elected, how do you build that consensus?
The beauty of this democracy is it only works when those who don't see eye to eye on every issue are able to get around the table and find some common ground and reach consensus. I served in Congress for 6 years, every day in the minority, so the only way I could deliver for veterans in El Paso, for example, was to find common cause with Republican allies, write that legislation together, got it signed into law by Donald Trump. I don't agree with him on much, but we could agree on this much, and we were able to expand mental health care access for veterans in Texas and across the country. As governor, I'll bring that same approach to the job. We won't always agree on everything, but there's a lot like world-class public schools or expanding Medicaid and opening up more options for mental health care access that most of us, Republican and Democrat, can agree on. Let's start where there is agreement and move this state forward.
Experts say women divided over issues like abortion, inflation, and crime will be a deciding factor in the coming midterm election. The United States is seeing a surge in both female voters and the number of women registering to vote. Bree Jackson explains.
All right, guys, we ain't got all day.
A wave of energized women are determined to make their voices known.
I think it's a critical election. I think the choices are clear and the issues are major. And if you don't come out and vote, then you have no say in those decisions.
We have to make sure that the people that we have in office care for us as well.
With life-changing issues on the line and which party holds power in Congress at stake, we're seeing a surge of women registering to vote and casting their ballot. There's a renewed sense of urgency for female voters to elect candidates who share their beliefs. In 2018, we saw a record number of women elected to Congress. Some called it a pink wave. Now that term is being used to describe the high number of women expected to vote in this midterm election, driven largely by the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. After the High Court's ruling, women on both sides of the abortion debate showed up in droves for rallies. Now they're using their vote to send a message.
I do have very strong beliefs on abortion, and I'm very happy that Roe versus Wade was overturned.
I just think that we are a country based on freedom and the freedom to choose what happens to you individually.
Sarah Tranakors tells me she has 3 daughters. 2 of them are able to vote. She says issues like protecting a woman's right to choose is top of mind for them.
I do believe it will bring more women out to the polls.
But Aviana Brew says it's household budget issues like higher costs for housing, food, and gas that are driving women like her to vote.
I agree with you. The pink wave is coming, but I think it's going to be very surprising how it turns out.
It remains to be seen which party, red or blue, most benefits from the increased interest in this year's midterm election, but it's clear certain female voters are motivated.
Back in the 2018 midterm election, 55% of women voted. Congressman Ronny Jackson reaching out to some of those women voters, making a stop in Amarillo last week. Coming up next, hear what he had to say during his final push before Election Day. I'm Jackie Kingston. You're watching Politics Today from your local election headquarters. United States Representative Ronny Jackson was the featured speaker at a local Republican women's meeting during a Tuesday stop in Amarillo. The night was a combined meeting between the High Plains Republican women and Amarillo Republican women. Congressman Jackson spoke about the importance of everyone's vote, especially in the midterm elections. Here's what he had to say when we were able to speak with him.
Well, look, I think everywhere in the state of Texas, in particular in the 13th Congressional District, it's Republican women that drive things. They really are the movers and the shakers in the Republican Party for the Texas 13th Congressional District. So I never pass an opportunity to meet with the Republican women, whether I'm in Denton or Wichita Falls or Amarillo or Pampa or anywhere else. So I'm just out here. In addition, I live here in Amarillo, and so a lot of the folks here in this room from the Amarillo Republican women and from the High Plains Republican women are close personal friends of mine. I've known them for over 2 years now since I first started campaigning for this race. So just out here to hang out with some of my good friends in the Republican Party that have supported me for a long time, have dinner with them and talk to them a little bit about what's been going on in D.C. and what the future holds for the Republican Party.
What have you learned in your first term of office that you hope to build on if you're reelected?
Well, I think I've learned that we don't have a lot of influence with our vote in the current setting where we're in the minority right now in Congress, and the Democrats control the House and the Senate and the White House, and so I'm looking forward to being in the majority coming in this November with the election, and then when we get sworn in January in the new 118th Congress, the Republicans are going to have the House back, at least maybe the Senate, but the House for sure. And I've learned what a difference it means to be in the minority and the majority and what you can and can't get done.
What legislation are you most proud of supporting?
Well, I think right now the National Defense Authorization Act has been a big deal. We've worked hard to make sure that we've taken care of Pantex, Bell Helicopter, and Shepherd Air Force Base. We were able to get an extra $37 million above and beyond the budget for Pantex, which is going to be a big deal for the economy around here in the Amarillo area. We were able to get a lot of extra projects headed the way of Bell Helicopter with the improvement procedures that are being done right now. The nacelle improvement on the V-22, which is the vertical lift aircraft that they have right now. We're also working hard to make sure that we get the new contract, the Army contract for vertical lift for Bell Helicopter. And then in Wichita Falls, we've had a lot of success in the Shepherd Air Force Base. We've got lots of money and headed for the new trainers that they have coming out, the T7, and we've helped with the child care center, so on and so forth. So we've made sure we've got lots of money from the defense side of the house headed to the 13th Congressional District.
And then what would you say to voters to reassure them that their vote counts and that they should go out and vote?
Well, I would just say you got to trust the system. You know, I mean, I know there's been questions about what happened last time. I have those questions myself. I think that the state legislatures around the country are making reforms, not as quickly as I would like to see, not as quickly as many, folks in this district would like to see. But I think that you have to vote. You have to get out and vote. You have to get other folks that are like-minded out, take people to the polls. And I think the biggest way to make sure that your vote counts is to make sure that you vote and to make sure that you get as many people out to the polls as you could possibly get. And then I think we can be reassured that the system in general was correct.
And then if you are reelected, are there any other priorities that you're going to focus on?
Sure, I'm going to work on 3 different areas. I've talked about this before, being on the Armed Services Committee. I'm going to focus on anything and everything involving national security and defense. Being a physician in Congress, I'm going to work on a lot of issues related to healthcare reform. As an expectation as a physician in Congress that I'm going to do that. I'm on the Doctors Caucus, and I will be an active participant in healthcare reform. And then thirdly, I will be on the Ag Committee starting in January, and I'm going to be involved in anything and everything involving ag. We have the Farm Bill coming up in 2023, so ag is going to be a big topic for the next Congress.
And then is there anything else you'd like to say about this specific event?
No, just it's great. We got a good turnout here. We got lots of folks here in the Amarillo area. I'm going to be actually going out tomorrow and speaking to the Republican women in Wichita Falls as well and doing some events there. We're all over the district. We've only got 1 week left. We vote a week from today. Is going to be the general election, and I just encourage everybody to get out and vote and make your voice heard.
We appreciate Congressman Jackson for his time. We were also able to catch up with Democratic candidate for Texas's 13th Congressional District, Kathleen Brown. We'll hear from her when she stopped by the station last week. Next. Joining us now in studio is candidate for Texas House District 13, Kathleen Brown. Kathleen, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about, if people are maybe unfamiliar with you as you're running for this office, tell me about what's important to you, what legislative priorities you have. Why are you running for this office, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, I think there's a lot that needs to be done, and it needs to be done quickly. First thing we need to do is work on getting our inflation under control. The best way to do that, according to the economists, is to reduce government spending and make sure health care and child care is more affordable. So those are going to be one of the first top priorities for me. The second is we're losing children very quickly due to fentanyl. So a lot of the fentanyl is coming through our ports of entry by U.S. citizens. So the best way to catch the fentanyl smuggling is to actually invest in canines and proper filters for their noses so that they can actually sniff out the canine. So that they can actually sniff out the fentanyl. Interestingly enough, only about 2% of the fentanyl is found being smuggled by illegal immigrants through non-ports of entry. So I'm a person who puts most of our resources where most of the problem is, and that's what I would work on.
Tell me about your qualifications for this office. What's your previous experience that you'll carry with you if you are elected?
Well, I've been an attorney for 20 years, and my job is to represent people, and that is exactly what this job is. That's why it's called the U.S. House of Representatives. And my top priority would be, basically I'm going up there to represent this district and basically sell this district and try and get the jobs we need, the infrastructure we need, the investments we need. And I think I'm the best person for that that because I'm not going up there to make friends, but I'm also not going up there to make enemies. And where our country is right now is very gridlocked because we have too many people up there who are in it to, I think, get a book deal or get on TV instead of doing the hard work of representing the people of their district.
As we wrap up early voting and election day, what would you tell to our viewers, your voters, about the safety and security of their vote? What would you tell them to encourage them that their vote matters and that it will be counted fairly and securely?
More than the presidential election, this election and your local elections really matter on the everyday lives that you live. And in this election, it is your vote counts just as much as anyone else's, unlike in the presidency. And I voted, and it is very safe and very secure. You will vote, and then you'll get a printout of your vote, and you take your time to look at it, and then it's moved to a different ballot box where it's overseen by an officer, and then you put the ballot in that box yourself.
So you trust the process? You think it will be fair?
Yes, it'll be very fair, and lawyers like myself, we love paper trails, and it has a really good paper trail. Your name is not on the ballot, so no one will know how you voted, but there is if you save it, your little slip of paper that tells you what your voter ID is for that vote, that is in relation to your paper ballot.
So you can track it that way?
Yes, you can track it that way.
Candidate Brown, I want to ask you about mental health. It's something that we as a community here in the Panhandle, and I know this district is really broad, and so it's great to have your perspective on this. Here in the Panhandle, many people are pushing and weighing the pros and cons of building a state hospital here. I know your district would cover, and I know you're from Wichita Falls and Vernon, and they have state hospitals there. What do you see as some of the benefits if we are to do that as a community here in Amarillo? What are some of the pros and cons that you see to having that?
Well, I just see a pro. I don't see a con because, and I don't know if you know this, but I lost a brother to suicide because of mental health. And it is so critical for the families here to be able to visit their loved one if they need to be institutionalized, because they really need their support. And the loved one, the families out there really need to be able to see the person they love. And to me, family is more important than anything. And so since the nearest hospital is in my town, Wichita Falls, which is a good 3.5 hours away, there's no way a family member could spend the time that probably the patient needs every weekend, because that's a 7-hour round trip. So yes, I would absolutely 100% support you guys getting your mental health hospital here. You need it.
Candidate Kathleen Brown, thank you for your time this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back. The Amarillo Independent School District held a special meeting to discuss community feedback with stakeholders. During Tuesday's meeting, members of the community were invited to prioritize the top 10 themes that have been discussed in the district's listening circles. Those include relationships, school safety, culture, and opportunities to learn the value of work. AISD Board President Kimberly Anderson says it's important to have these meetings so they can listen to our community.
A lot of times when we're in the public, we're doing a lot of talking, and we wanted to flip that on its head and spend some time listening. And so today we invited those people back to hear the common themes we found in all of those conversations and to help us prioritize what we need to address first.
Anderson tells us it takes the entire community working together to ensure students are prepared for life after school. The next Amarillo ISD workshop is scheduled for November 18th. The next regular meeting is scheduled for November 21st. We're going to wrap things up here on Politics Today right after this. Okay, everyone, thanks for being here. Make sure you make a plan to vote. Election Day, again, is on Tuesday. Polls will be open from 7 to 7. Remember, you can follow along with your election results right here on KAMR Local 4 News. And join us for a special edition of the show, Politics Today, that night, Tuesday at 6:30 as well. Don't forget, you can follow along with us on social media. I'm on Facebook and on Twitter. And our website, myhighplains.com, is going to be the best place to follow those returns on election night to find out more about your polling location and the candidates before you go out and vote for them. My thanks, by the way, to all of the candidates for making time to speak with us this morning. It's a busy time of year for them, so we appreciate their time and appreciate you being here as always. See you Tuesday.